Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of AFBeast. As always, this is Captain Walnut. We're doing some factions, PvP, and base raiding. That's what this server is all about. So today, I'm going to show you around quickly around a little building that we're building here at Spawn. Come the 30th, the safe biome is going to change again, and we're also implementing a new rule that no one is allowed to have secure inventories at their base, so they can't have safes, they can't have they can't have not safe boxes, strong boxes, because we're going to change the config files so that the strong boxes can't be secure. The reason we're going to keep strong boxes is because they're just so convenient to pick up and move around. And you can't have like the Thaumcraft things that are locked to the person or anything like that. So no safe chests, no safe inventories, secure inventories at players' bases. That should make raiding a lot more fun because you have a better chance of finding stuff. It also makes you have to be more secretive with where you hide your chests and everything, and makes opportunities for secret vault rooms and stuff like that. And speaking of vault rooms, at Spawn, we wanted to give people an opportunity or a place to put their secure stuff. So thank you, proximity door. You may now close behind me. Thank you. um, and that's going to be this vault room down here. So basically, the only place we're allowed to keep secure inventories is in one of these vaults, and we'll keep extending this thing down as need be. So I've claimed this one here because there's a lot of stuff going on up above it, and I didn't want anyone who was trying to, change the color of their walls or anything like that to dig into any of these devices and not know what's going on. So I chose the one that's under all the craziness here, and I'm going to get into that. Sam chose the one directly across from it, and then of course the other ones are open because we haven't opened it up to anyone else yet, because we're not done working on it yet. But yeah, so Sam and I have both been working on this place. He's come up with a lot of the cool stuff. You can see here we got this quarried stone with a lot of the cool different, broken up blocks just to make it look all fancy. Go up on the elevator, please. There we go. And then we chose the sandy blocks and the bloodstained blocks just to make it pop. Oh, and this is a great opportunity. Thank you for becoming night. So if I go out here, proximity door, thank you. You can see that we have a special unique form of lighting in the form of fluid ducts filled with lava. Yep. So that lava tank and those two lava tanks are going to go away someday. But we just wanted to have this place look all really cool and technical. So we have these lava tubes sitting down on the floor surrounded with some panels of the different kinds, so it sort of fits the broken up floor design. It fits down in there, and that goes into the wall, and then it goes up and around everything, and then it comes out over here again, and then it also circles around this one, just to give the area some light without having torches, but also looking really cool and technical. We're also going to be using lava as the main power source in this base because we have some force fields going on over there that I will get into in a second. And we'll have a machine room over here with some very basic machines from thermal expansion. Not tons of them and not super efficient or anything like that. But we're just going to have a couple of them just in case your base gets raided and you lose everything. You're not completely back to the Stone Age. You can come back here, you can use these machines, and then we'll probably even have some oreberry bushes set up to produce very slow amounts or slight amounts of resources. So if you lose everything, you're not starting at square zero, square one, whatever. You can actually get started again. So yeah. Also, isn't this so cool? We updated the server, and the open blocks height map projectors have been fixed, so you can actually see what's going on here. This is the two circles there are what we built here. These two circles. Oh, that design looks so cool from the air, doesn't it? And there's that circle over there. This room over here is going to be a portal room. Like I said, there's going to be a machine room over there. Yeah, this is really cool. So pretty much eventually what we're going to be able to do is people are going to be able to build shops around here. People are going to be able to build shops around here. And so this entire area that's pictured here will be part of the spawn safe area. So it used to be just 50 blocks extending out from that point right there, and 50 blocks in each direction, so a fairly small area, maybe out to about here-ish or so. And and here-ish, and there-ish, and there-ish. So that was a pretty tiny area. So now we're going to be increasing it to the entire area mapped by these height map projectors. It's just a 1-to-1 scale. Pricey's abandoned base is in this area, but that's okay because it is indeed abandoned, so we can just demolish it. And I might build walls up around here. I don't know if I have the time for that because I'm committing a lot of resources to this place here. Yeah. By the way, I love Microblocks because you can just like look at this thing. We have the beacon here. It's not set up to do anything because it's just these 9 iron blocks and not have anything below it. It was just mostly to look really awesome. But if I no, give me that. Give me my hand. There we go. If I break this, you can kind of see that there is a. Let me just block the beacon real quick. You can kind of see that there's a magnum torch sitting down inside there, which is just so cool. You gotta love Microblocks. Oh man. So if I break that, it should turn back on. Awesome. And then let me grab these 2 things and put them back. And I need a new mouse desperately. The scroll wheel in this mouse is just it's horrible. It was like a $10 mouse to begin with, and like the other day the scroll wheel just decided to give up the ghost. So now whenever I scroll, you can see, of course it does it now. Whenever I scroll, it's very laggy and it jumps back and forth. If I was scrolling through a web page, you could see it. It would be like jittering up and down the screen like that, and it sucks. So let's put this block back here. Boom, that's all covered up and looking nice. Okay, so what do I want to do with the safe? And I'll get to that in a second too. So basically what I want to do here with this safe is you can see I've got a sensor block there and a computer and then some redstone going off in different directions. And let me show you what I want to do first, and then I'll show you how it works. So let's do close. You can see here. So this is how the safe would be at all normal times. You walk in this room and it's closed. Even when you walk on top of it, it would remain closed. And what I want to happen is when you shift, it will change to the open state. So when you're standing on top of this vault door and you hold shift, it should change to the open state. And that is this. And see, while I'm standing on top here, the things I'm most proud of is that the floor gets replaced quick enough that you don't start falling through. So it gets replaced with these with the clear glass and an elevator block, so you can just start going through here and into your vaults and stuff. And you can go back out. And then after 10 seconds or so, we'll figure out the timing. After you come down in, it will close again. And then you can sort of stand in this room and hold shift and it would open up again, just to sort of give it that secure feel that the vault door is closing behind you. So yeah, so I'm just really happy that this thing works fast enough that I can stand on these blocks as they're being replaced. And you see I kind of fell there, but I didn't fall through, which is just really cool. So how does this thing work? I haven't gotten the proximity working for that yet because I know I haven't tested it out yet. That was sort of my practice door over there with the proximity effect. But the way this is working is, let's actually, oops, I didn't mean to, give me my hand. There we go. Let's switch this to open. Oh gosh, if I could type. Open, there we go. So let me go down in here. And those levers are just test levers. They'll go away in a second. So we shift to go down. Alright. Oh, Moonstones, yay! There's so many Moonstones around here. I have to go collect them here in a second. Alright, so here you can see I've got a corrosion driver, and you might be able to see it. There's a resonant energy cell behind there. I charged those up at my base and brought them over. They're steadily running out of energy, but very slowly, because I turned on and off the force field projectors. After 6 seconds after I turn them on, they're off again, so that way I don't have to worry about this constantly sucking up energy. So I've got a corrosion driver, or corrosion, I don't even know words. I got a word driver and a capacitor, and that's feeding into a force field projector. Unfortunately, I do need these 60 speed modules to get it to replace all the blocks at once, which was kind of expensive to do, but that's okay. And then just I wanted to increase the capacity a little bit. So basically what I'm doing is I'm silencing it so it's not annoying when it's on. And then also the field stabilizer, what that does is it crystallizes the blocks. So basically it takes the things from this chest, and I have way more than enough just in case someone decides to break it, or a creeper blows up, or any accident happens here. The next cycle that it runs through, it'll still have enough blocks to replace it all. And then I just have the speed and capacity, and then these guys I'm just putting it in the right place. And then what I know to do is I have this custom mode. So basically what Sam did is I asked Sam to build what he thinks the vault door should look like in here, and then I grabbed the custom module and copied it, and then I asked him to build what he thinks the open door should look like, and I grabbed a different custom module and grabbed that and copied it. So then we just broke it, and boom, here we go. Here's the other custom module in there, and you can see this is set up the exact same way with what the closed blocks are. And then back here, in order to disintegrate it, I've got a third force field projector all the way back here. He gets his energy from the capacitors up at the front. You can see it's all sitting at like 30 right now. That's kind of wasteful because the capacitors seem to lose energy, and then the little guys replace it, and it slowly sucks down energy, but it's such a trickle amount that I don't really care. So here we have the silence, then we give it the ability to collect whatever it's disintegrating, and then it disintegrates it, and then of course the speed and the capacity, and then the custom mode, it's the same as those two, just so it knows what to disintegrate, so it doesn't disintegrate the corners, just the central area. And then I scale it to the right area, and then of course since it collects things, it puts them into this chest, and then I have a filter so that any of the iron bricks or the fancy iron bricks go off towards the close module, and on this side I have any of the clear glass or the elevator bricks go off towards the open module. And that's basically how it works. And of course I'll come back in here and clean all this up in a little bit and replace all the blocks so it looks like any of these other vaults over here. And of course I'll fix up this area here so it's full again. But yeah, so that's basically how the vaults work. I gotta program this computer so it's always sensing for people. It puts an output on the right and left to go to the open and close modules respectively, as well as an output on the back. That's over here to go off to the whatchamacallit module, the disintegration module. There we go. So that's how that all works. Let me show you how this proximity door works, because this is working on very similar principles to how that's going to work. This is just my test bed. So basically what's going on here is I've got some drawbridges down there. And I know we could have used drawbridges for that too. It was just we really wanted to use the force fields. Oh, look, a moonstone got up there. We really wanted to use the force fields, and so we are. So you have drawbridges here, disguised as abyssal blocks, and then they had thickened glass because Sam just thought thickened glass looked really cool. And I agree with him, the thickened glass does look cool. You see the clear glass doesn't have any of the lines on it, which is nice for this sort of thing, but we sort of want to be able to see that there's a door there, so you don't sort of have that clear sliding glass door syndrome where you just smack your face into it like, why can't I go through? Yeah. So let's show you how this works. So basically I've got a sensor down here and a computer. Again, you don't need to use advanced computers. The reason I'm using advanced computers is so when I go in to show you code, it's a lot easier to see. I can click around. It's a lot easier to edit code with. Basically what that does is it outputs a redstone signal on the back, and then there's some wire just connecting up to all the 5 different drawbridges, because it also goes up in the corners too. So let's show you how that program works real quick. Control T for me. See, it's running startup, so it's running all the time. Edit startup. Alright, so it's just some text about it. The location, the sensors on the left, output on the back. We set the initial output to true, so that these things are always closed when no one's around. Go back down, please. And then proximity to sensor, so I set up an area around it. The sensor's not in the exact middle of the door, so I have to shift it back and forward a little bit more, but everything else is even. I'm making sure that it's above it so that it's not accidentally detecting down in the vault, because there's a vault that extends down below here. Sam's vault actually extends down below here. Okay, and then we initialize the output, just so we don't have to worry about it. And then we check for people around here. So basically, we ask the sensor to look around for players and return a list of the player names. And then what I'm doing is I'm checking if the length of that list, that's what this number sign does, if the length of the list is 0, then there's no one around. So go ahead and output 0 and then wait a little bit. So this is just basically a lag buster. Now, if any players are in the vicinity, so that basically means I'm going to check if there's play in the vicinity. So I have a dummy variable set up, this underscore, and then this is just a iterator in Lua. You can do this as a the way that this works is you don't need to step through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the index value. If you just use this dummy variable and then what you're looking for in pairs, it'll actually just step through for every actual piece of the array that holds numbers. And that's getting sort of into the intricate ways in which Lua works. Basically, what you need to know is this is what you have to do for this type of thing, because that guy's not necessarily going to return the players in sequential order. There might be some gaps, in the thing. So a normal iterator would see that gap and think that was the end of the list, or it's actually not. So that's why you have to use this. It took me a while to figure that out, actually. I had to read up on how Lua works, because that's not a programming language I use all the time. So if there is a name that does not equal to, that's a tilde or grave or whatever you want to call it. Tilde equal to means it says not equal to nothing. So if the player has a name, if I wanted to, I could have this only work for certain people. I could say equals equals and then Captain Walnut, or name equals equals Rare Blusky, or equals equals so on and so forth. But this works because it's just anyone with a name. Yay. And then I save the data into info just so I can access it easier. And then I save their position. I ask the info, hey, what's their position? I save it. And then here I'm just checking, are they within? So if this condition, this condition, and this condition, and this condition, and these within the right Z, then I go ahead and turn it off. So I'm saying not initial, so I'm reversing the redstone output, so it opens the door. And then otherwise, if they're not within that position, because their detection radius is slightly bigger than what I'm actually looking for, so if they're detected by the sensor but are not within the right area, so else here, then go ahead and reset it, shut it down, and then again a little lag buster thing here, sleep for 0.5 seconds. I like to put those lag busters in just so we don't have to worry about the computer constantly, every single tick being like, ask for people, ask for people, ask for people. And it might have helped if I restart the computer. So I go in here, I exit this, Control R to restart, boom, and it should sense me. There it goes. So I have a relatively small detection radius in this thing just because I want to get the cool effect of you sort of seeing the door open. I could have it open, as far away as the sensor could detect, but that's just not as fun to me. So there we go. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the same thing as that working over here, except there's a data value that knows if the player is sneaking or not, so shifting, or whatever your sneak key is. And if they're sneaking, it'll be able to check for that, and then if they are, and they're within, this square right here, of a Y value of, plus 1 to, let's call it plus 3 from the sensor, and then minus all the way down to this floor here. If they're shifting within this square, then that means the door should open, and after 10 seconds, close it again. So I'm going to get started on that code, and I'll be back with you when it's done. Alright guys, I think I finally have it working. So, I'll just show you. So if I hold shift, and then I need to wait a couple seconds, and this thing, yep, it's doing it. So I go down here, and I shortened the close time to 3 seconds. So I feel like that's enough. So then it closes behind you, and then that just looks really crazy. But yeah, so we're down here, and we're closed inside the vault. We can go around inside everybody's vaults. We can go down and around and everything, and up again. Now I don't think that brief little bit of shifting inside here will do it, because I have the check to be half a second. So basically every half a second it's checking, so I think you have to be shifting for at least half a second. So you probably don't want to shift on top of here. You shift just off of it, 1 Mississippi. That should be enough, right? Yep, it certainly was. So now it's cleaning everything up, and we can get up out of here. And that's awesome. So that is the vault door. fairly complex program for a pretty simple thing that could have been accomplished with drawbridges, but I like it a lot. So again, I can just hold shift here, and I can walk over here and see if it's working. It sure is. And you can see here it's outputting the redstone at all the appropriate times. And then I can come down here, and it should be closing. Oh, that was just in time. Yep, so it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. Let's go ahead and show the program. I can do it over here too, so I can do it there, and it should work. But it should not work if I do it, you know, like, whew, almost didn't make it. I had plenty of time, I guess. So it should not work. It doesn't work if it's in the middle of transition process, I guess, obviously. And if I shift here, it should not work either. Right? Good. Same thing for here. If I shift here, it should not work. I'm shifting. Nope, didn't do anything. If I shift here, it shouldn't work. Right? Good. If I shift here, it shouldn't work. But here it does. You can see it turned on. There we go. Oop, it causes a little bit of frame rate lag, I guess. But alright, so let's show what's going on. I'm just going to wait for this thing to close again. Okay, so now let's go ahead and check out what's going on here. So it's terminate startup, and we'll edit startup so we can look at it. Alright, so here's a bunch of stuff again. Here's the region I'm looking at. So I'm within the vault door. I set, I just have a variable up top here for open time so I can change it easily. Don't have to go look into the program for it. And then I have to keep track of the vault doors open or closed because there's no point in constantly telling it to close if it's already closed. And then I just tell it where everything is. So sensors on the back, left, right, and front for the various force field projectors that do the various different tasks. Then I set up two functions, one for close and one for open. So close, basically I'm saying set the different modules to what they should be for this. So I turn both the closing module and the disintegrate module to true, and then turn the open module off. Sleep for 3 seconds so that the disintegrate module has time to turn on and do stuff, and then I turn it off again, sleep for 3 more seconds so that the close module has time to finish putting all the blocks down, and then I'm done. Same thing with the open, it's just the opposite. The open module needs time to do its stuff, so the disintegrate is on for 3 seconds, then turns off, and during that entire time the open modules has been on. So after the disintegrate one's done, then the open module goes ahead and starts doing its stuff. So there we go. Then I say that initially the door should be closed, so the very first thing it does before it enters the loop after turning on is it makes sure the door is closed by just running the close routine. And then I set up an infinite loop. I ask for the players. If no one's around, I make sure the vault is closed. So remember that boolean I had that was true or false if the vault is closed. So if it's not closed, then I close it. And then I just sleep for 3/4 of a second or so to make sure that it so I'm not wasting lag. So that's a lag buster right there. If there's players in the vicinity, same thing as before with the dummy variable. All this stuff is the same. Checking if I'm within the thing. And then the extra bit I'm adding here's the important bit, if the data dot is sneaking. So if the player data says that I'm sneaking, so that boolean returns true, then if it's closed, then I open it. Otherwise, if it's already open, because if I'm already out there sneaking, then it doesn't need to open it again. And then I sleep for however long I want to. And then if everything there is not true, so every single one of those conditions has to be true for it to enter that, otherwise I close it. And then here's more lag busting, sleep for half a second. So that's how it works. Let's just run startup again. And yep, so that's pretty awesome. That's the vault door. I'm going to clean all this up, and we'll be back with you in a second. Okay, so now everything's cleaned up. You can see the inside of these vaults looks all nice and clean again. Everything's hidden up there. So hopefully the guys in the server don't just start messing around with this. I didn't put any security on it. If I need to, I will, but hopefully I don't have to. So I guess we can just shift right here, and then we can wait for a second for it to open up. The nice thing is I put it all at the right level so that you couldn't see, because I didn't do it for long enough. So you can't see the weird little things flying through the ceiling or anything like that. Especially from the top, you don't want to be able to see that. So you can see here that you can't see any of that weird stuff. So like when this thing starts closing again, you can't see any of the little particle effects or whatever of the beams. So yeah. Okay, well that was getting a really awesome vault door set up for the players on the server so that they can come and put secure inventories here. It also really shows the power of that open peripheral sensor. So thank you very much to Mikey Moo, who is the creator of that mod, for making such an awesome and powerful device that's really simple to use. You know, sliding glass doors as well as cool little vaults, vault doors. It's really awesome. All right, guys. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.